Hey guys, welcome back to my channel where I talk about the NWSL women's soccer, just soccer, only soccer. We have a US women's national team roster drop today. This roster isn't just for any roster for any random friendly or She Believes Cup. This roster, you guys, is the roster for the 2023 Women's World Cup in Australia and New Zealand next month. I can imagine this is going to be the most contentious roster for the US women's national team, since there is a major tournament in the upcoming month and there is so much at stake. Originally, I thought this roster was going to be the provisional roster where Vlatko had to narrow down the 23 players he plans on taking with him to the World Cup. But no, this is the actual roster of the 23 players selected for the World Cup. Meg Linehan last week on June 16, 2023 confirms Aubrey Kingsbury, Savannah DeMello, and Kelly O'Hara have been called up. It was also announced this morning, June 21st, Lynn Williams and Christy Mewis have been called up as well. However, it was announced last week, Becky Sauerbrunn, U.S. Women's National Team captain and Portland Thorns defender, is going to be missing the World Cup. She has been dealing with a foot injury since April and unfortunately will be unable to make it to the World Cup this year. In addition to the injury report, midfielder Kat Macario is going to miss the World Cup this year as well. People were saying she would be ready in time for the World Cup after an ACL injury last year. But unfortunately, due to a setback in her recovery a few months ago, it pushed her recovery back even further. She's doing well right now, but hasn't been able to get any minutes with Lyon last season. Vlatko said Macario being selected for the World Cup would depend on her getting playtime with Lyon, which unfortunately did not happen. On the upside, Macario should be ready in time for WSL Barclays next season, where she'll be playing with Chelsea. I have been keeping an eye on OL Reign midfielder Rose Lavelle and doing Lavelle updates in my recent Reign videos. She's been dealing with a leg injury since April, after the US played Ireland in 2 friendlies and hasn't played for OL Reign since. She's recovering, and Laura Harvey, per Susie Rants, said last Saturday in a post-match interview, Lavelle is making progress. She's back to training with the Reign team and did travel with the team for their regular season match against the Houston Dash. However, she did not play in that match. Whether Lavelle is going to be ready in time for the World Cup is still up in the air. At the same can also be said for Mal Swanson, or Mal Pugh. Mal suffered a patellar tendon tear, knee-related injury in the first friendly against Ireland back in April, and hasn't been able to play for the Chicago Red Stars as of recent. Recovery time is 4 to 6 weeks, but complete recovery can take 6 months. Many patients reported they required 12 months before they reached all their goals. This comes from the American Academy of Orthopedic Surgeons. For now, I think that's all for the injury reports. I just want to clear that up because I know a lot of people are wondering what's going on with Macario, Lavelle, Swanson, and Sauerbrunn. Now, that all being said, let's get into the roster. So, starting with the goalkeepers. Aubrey Kingsbury, Casey Murphy, and Alyssa Nair. I normally won't go into the goalkeepers all that much, but leading up to this, a lot of fans were questioning whether Alyssa Nair should be going to the World Cup because her team, the Chicago Red Stars, haven't been looking too good in the NWSL standings. They're sitting 11th in the NWSL standings right now. Going by Nair's stats, she has played 1,080 minutes, conceded 31 goals, made 47 saves, and only has 1 clean sheet. Whereas her fellow goalkeepers, Aubrey Kingsbury, has only conceded 12 goals in 1,079 minutes, made 33 saves, and has 3 clean sheets. Casey Murphy has only conceded 11 goals in 1,042 minutes, made 31 saves, and has 6 clean sheets. When I checked some of the other goalkeepers in the NWSL, Bella Bixby, Katie Lund, Abby Smith, and Fallon Tullis-Joyce, they collectively conceded under 20 goals and had longer clean sheets than Nair, ranging between 3 to 5. But when it comes to Nair, she has the experience, and you want that in a goalkeeper. She may not start in every game for the World Cup. Vlatko might go with Murphy, but I understand why Nair was selected. When it comes to Nair and the Chicago Red Stars, being a former goalkeeper myself, you can only do so much as a goalkeeper. If your backline isn't defending you properly and you're not getting support from your backline, of course you're going to concede a lot of goals. While people may be questioning Nair's ability in goal, I would first look at the backline and defense to see what they're doing or not doing. Merle Frams, for example, Germany and Wolfsburg starting keeper, is a great goalkeeper, but people question her goalkeeping ability, much like with Nair, because she's conceded a lot of goals. The reality is her back line hasn't been defending her properly, and there's only so much she can do. You can have a solid goalkeeper, but if the backline and defense isn't there, then it's not going to turn out well for the keeper or the team. Yeah, I didn't plan on talking this much about the keepers. I usually don't, but there's quite a few fans questioning Nair being called up. I guess if Nair wasn't selected, I probably would have gone with Bella Bixby or Katie Lund. Lund has only conceded 12 goals in 1,080 minutes, made 54 saves, and has 5 clean sheets. Good record for her so far. Anyway, enough about goalkeeping. Let's get into the defenders who will hopefully defend Murphy, Kingsbury, and Nair properly. So for defenders, Alana Cook, Emily Fox, Crystal Dunn, Naomi Girma, Sofia Huerta, Kelly O'Hara, and Emily Sonnet. I probably predicted this backline in my head. Honestly, I'm really happy Huerta made it. She was the first player I checked for on the roster. I also said in a video/podcast if Huerta scored a penalty in the match against the Kansas City Current, I would buy her a U.S. Women's National Team jersey if she got called up for the World Cup. Yeah, RIP my wallet. Also, support my channel in the description below. Anyway, Girma and Fox, yes, I would definitely call those two up. O'Hara, Sonnet, and Dunn, veteran defenders with good experience, which is needed. The thing with Crystal Dunn, though, she's being used in the Portland Thorns midfield. I think she prefers to play in the midfield. That's good for the U.S. attack and building the U.S.'s attack, but we're still needing that support in the defense as well. Dunn, Fox, and Huerta like to press with the attack. Huerta is a former forward, so yeah, she likes getting up there. Yeah, those three definitely like getting up there in the attack, but they have to watch out for transitions and counterattacks from the opposing teams. When it comes to Sonnet, Laura Harvey for the Reign has been trying to have her play as a defensive midfielder or 6. That's going well. Yeah, that's going well. Provided Sonnet doesn't play against anyone from Brazil or any quick-moving players. Harvey did move her back to the back line in the Reign's last match against the Dash, and yeah, that's where she belongs. As for Alana Cook, she's been doing well with the Reign and has done well in the U.S.'s recent friendlies, but the World Cup is going to be a big test and challenge for her. She is definitely going to be facing some tough teams with very strong attacking players. A part of me is hopeful for her, but she is really needing to step up, be confident, and be aggressive. I think the same could also be said for all of these defenders. Now let's move on to the midfield, which is probably the most contentious thing ever. I haven't read any new news articles yet, but I just know that's going to be the thing that's the most talked about. In the midfield, we got Savannah DeMello, Julie Ertz, Lindsay Horan, Rose Lavelle, Christy Mewis, Ashley Sanchez, and Andy Sullivan. It's cool to see DeMello getting called up. I think I would have liked to see her teammate Jalen Howell get called up with her and then play them together, but that's just me and my Howell preference. Anyway, DeMello has been doing well with Racing Louisville. It's going to be interesting to see how she does in the U.S. midfield if Vlatko decides to play her. I think DeMello has been called up to the U.S. national team, but I'm not sure if she's seen any game time or has seen a lot of game time with the national team. It's great to see Mewis getting called up, but I would actually like to see her start more for the national team. That's kind of always been the thing. I'm a little surprised to see Lavelle getting called up. I wasn't sure if she'd be able to make it to the World Cup given her leg injury and the fact that she hasn't played in any matches for the Reigns since April. Lavelle needs to recover and also needs minutes. There are still some NWSL games before the World Cup. Hopefully she'll be able to recover in time and play in those. Knowing Laura Harvey though, and from what I've seen from Laura Harvey is going to be managing Lavelle's minutes. She doesn't like to rush a player's recovery and will work them back into the game slowly. At the same time, I'm also a bit worried about Lavelle possibly getting re-injured in the World Cup if they do try to rush her recovery. For the 2020 Olympics, Julie Ertz still played even though she was coming back from an injury or was recovering from an injury. Then, after the Olympics, she was out with another injury. I really hope if Lavelle does recover in time and makes it to the World Cup, Vlatko manages her minutes. There's still plenty of attacking midfielders to choose from in that case. Horan, Sanchez, DeMello, Mewis. Even Dunn can play as an attacking midfielder if needed. As for our defensive midfielders, Ertz and Sullivan. Sullivan has been doing well with the Spirits, but when it comes to Ertz, she's doing well, but I think she needs more minutes. I think in place of Ertz, I probably would have gone with Sam Coffey or Jalen Howell. Both are doing well with their respective teams. Coffey has won 72% of her tackles, made 15 clearances, and 23 interceptions. Howell has won 63% of her tackles, made 23 clearances, and 26 interceptions. Howell is also pretty aggressive in the midfield, and I can see her matching up or having a go at players like Lena Overdorf or Georgia Stanway. Ertz once again needs more playtime, and hopefully she'll get it in these upcoming NWSL games. It's still good that we have Ertz, another defensive midfielder, because it means we'll be able to rest Sullivan a little more. There's also Emily Sonnet who can play as a defensive midfielder, like I said earlier, but I can imagine that will be more of a last resort. Anyway, let's move on to the forwards. Lastly, for forwards, Alex Morgan, Megan Rapinoe, Trinity Rodman, Sophia Smith, Alyssa Thompson, and Lynn Williams. Unfortunately, this kind of confirms that Mal is not going to the World Cup. I had a feeling that was going to happen, especially when I read up on patellar tendon tears. But on the upside, the forwards are alright. Sophia Smith is on fire right now with the Thorns, same with Rodman at the Washington Spirits. Hopefully we'll see good connection in the attack from them. Rodman also has great connection and chemistry with her Spirit teammate Ashley Sanchez. So we'll probably be seeing them also connecting in the attack as well. Smith especially has been great to watch this season. She's really good at getting around defenders, really good footwork. She can get through tight spaces very easily, and she just causes a lot of problems for defenders. I think she'll be great to watch in the World Cup, provided that the US can get passes and balls up to her, provided that we'll be able to connect in the attack. I'm a little surprised to see Pino though. Just want to add, she did suffer a leg injury in the match against the Kansas City Currents and had to come off early. Right now, she's recovering from that injury and hopefully will be back soon. Yes, I know, lots of injuries right now. Injury FC, anyone? I borrowed that from Arsenal fans. Anyway, Alex Morgan and Lynn Williams will be able to provide great experience for the attack. I would probably try to go with Williams, Rodman, or Smith up top. I think those three would link up nicely. Last but not least, Alyssa Thompson, Angel City rookie. She's been doing well at Angel City, but I am very interested to see how she does alongside Rodman, Smith, Morgan, Pino, or Williams. After Mal got injured in the first friendly against Ireland, Thompson was called up to the second friendly in her place. And I remember her being very quick and very busy in that match. She's a very quick player and her pace is going to be needed since we're not going to have Mal. Like I said, I'm more interested in if she'll be able to connect in the attack and with the other attacking players. Connection in the attack and in the box is something the US is really needing to work on, and hopefully they'll keep working on that moving forward. Anyway, this is the roster for the 2023 World Cup in Australia and New Zealand. I'll leave any updates to the roster in the comment section below, or I'll just do a YouTube short. What do you guys think of the roster? Let me know. That is all I have for you guys today or tonight, and I'll see you all in the next one. Later.